For as long as I can remember, I was never the daughter they chose. Every family trip, every vacation, every memory, I wasn't in it. But I was always there, feeding their pets, cleaning their house, watching their life, while mine was left behind. Until the day I stopped waiting to be included, and started building a life they would never control again. Pause beat. And that's when everything started to change. Intro CTA, engagement trigger. If you've ever felt ignored by your own family, if you've ever been treated like you're only useful, not important, then don't skip this story. Because this isn't just about revenge. It's about finally choosing yourself. And trust me, what happens in the next part will shock you. The life I lived but never chose. Growing up, I always thought families were supposed to feel warm. Like Sunday dinners, shared laughter, vacations together, photos where everyone is included. But in my home, it was different. I was the reliable one. Not the favorite one. Not the exciting one. Just the one who could be counted on when no one else wanted responsibility. My mom had two main roles in life when it came to me. Talking about how responsible I was, and then immediately using that responsibility against me. Every time my sister planned a vacation with her husband and kids, my mom's voice would change. Soft, excited, almost glowing. "We're going to the beach for a week." Then the second sentence always came like a habit. "You'll stay and watch the house, right? And the dog." Not a question, a statement, like it was already decided. And every single time, I said yes, not because I wanted to, but because saying no felt like betraying my role in the family. The life of being useful, it became routine. They would leave, I would stay, and their world would continue moving forward, while mine stayed stuck inside their house. I remember one specific time. It was summer. The heat was unbearable. I was sitting in their living room, feeding their dog, scrolling through Instagram, and I saw it. A family photo. My sister, her husband, their kids, standing in front of a resort. Everyone smiling, matching outfits, ocean behind them, and my mom in the comments. My beautiful family. I zoomed in, looking for myself in the comment, in the memories, in anything. But I wasn't there. Not in the picture. Not in the caption. Not even in the thought. And for the first time, I didn't just feel left out. I felt erased. Small moments that broke me quietly. It wasn't one big incident. It was hundreds of small ones. Like when they came back from trips and brought gifts. My sister's kids would open bags full of toys. My sister would get perfumes, clothes, souvenirs. My mom would show pictures and laugh about all the memories. And then there was me, standing there, cleaning up the house I just maintained for a week. One time I joked quietly, "Did you guys bring me anything?" My mom laughed, not in a cruel way, but in a careless way. "Oh, we forgot. Next time." But there was never a next time. The moment it started changing inside me, something shifted slowly. Not dramatically, not like a movie explosion, but like a quiet realization that grows heavier every day. One night, I was sitting alone in the kitchen. The house was empty. Again. I looked around and thought, I live in a place I don't belong, just so other people can enjoy their lives. That sentence stayed in my mind for days, then weeks, and then came the breaking point. The day I made a decision. I started saving money quietly, not telling anyone, not asking permission, just working extra hours, cutting small expenses, building something I had never built before, a plan for myself, and that plan had one destination, Scotland. My mom's dream country. She used to talk about it all the time. One day I'll go to Scotland, it's my dream. She had said that so many times. I could hear it without her speaking. And that's when the idea formed in my mind. Not revenge yet. Not anger yet. Something else. Control. For once, I wanted to choose something. Not be chosen. The aunt she hated. There was one more piece of the puzzle. My aunt. My mom's sister. The one she always argued with. The one she always criticized. The one she secretly envied. She was independent, wealthy, calm, unbothered, and strangely, she was the only person who ever treated me like I mattered. Not as a responsibility, not as help, but as a person. So when I thought about who to take with me, the answer wasn't even close. The announcement that changed everything. One evening, I sat in the living room. My mom was there, casual, comfortable, as if everything in life was already arranged for her. And I said it, calmly, clearly. I'm going to Scotland. Silence. Then confusion. With who? She asked. I paused, and said the words that changed the atmosphere instantly. With Aunt. The room didn't just go quiet. It froze. Her expression shifted immediately, like someone had turned off her control over the situation. Excuse me. And I repeated it. I'm going with her. Her smile disappeared. And then came the reaction I had expected, but still wasn't prepared for. The first explosion. She stood up slowly. Why her? Her voice wasn't loud yet, but it was sharp. Controlled anger. I didn't look away. Because for once, I didn't want to shrink. I answered honestly. Because she actually treats me like family. That sentence hit harder than anything I had ever said before. And I saw it. The moment her face changed. Not just anger. Something deeper. Hurt mixed with pride breaking. After everything I've done for you, you choose her? And that's when I said it. The truth I had carried for years. You mean everything except including me. Silence again. But this time heavier. The refusal that started the storm. She tried to change it. Begged. Argued. Guilt trip. I've always taken care of this family. You're being ungrateful. Let me come instead. But I shook my head. Slowly. Firmly. No. One word. That changed everything. The decision to send the pictures. Before leaving the room, I made another decision. A small one, but powerful. If I was finally going to live my life, then I wasn't going to hide it. So I said, I'll send you updates. Her eyes narrowed, confused, suspicious, but she didn't understand what I meant yet. Not fully. Not the way she would later. Final scene. The seeds of revenge begin. That night, I booked the ticket. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, but from something new. Freedom. And beside me, my aunt confirmed everything with a simple message. We leave next month. Pack light. I stared at the screen for a long time. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't waiting for permission. I wasn't asking to be included. I was going. Cliffhanger ending. A week later, my mom walked into the house and saw my suitcase near the door. She froze, then slowly turned to me. Her voice was calm, but dangerous. You're really going through with this? I looked at her, and that's when my phone lit up. A message from my aunt. Everything is booked. Scotland is ready for us. My mom saw the notification on the screen, and her expression changed completely. The moment she saw that notification, something in her changed. Not just anger, not just disappointment, but something deeper. Like she realized she was losing control of something she had always owned. And that's when I understood. This wasn't just about a trip anymore. Short CTA. If you think I did the right thing by finally choosing myself, wait till you see what happened next. Because this wasn't the end of the fight. It was just the beginning of something far more disturbing. The silence before the storm. The room felt smaller. Not physically, but emotionally. Like the air had thickened between us. My mom stood there, staring at my phone. At the message from my aunt. At the confirmation of something she couldn't undo. And then she spoke. Quietly. Too quietly. So you planned all of this behind my back? I didn't answer immediately. Because I wasn't afraid. Not anymore. That was new for me. So I said calmly, I planned my own life. That sentence hit her harder than I expected. Her jaw tightened. Her hands clenched slightly. But she still wasn't yelling. And that made it worse. The first shift, manipulation, begins. She changed strategy. Instantly. Her tone softened. Her face changed. Like a mask sliding into place. I just don't understand why you're doing this to me. She stepped closer. Slow. Controlled. After everything I've done for you. I interrupted her. Everything, except including me. Silence. That phrase again. I could see it landing deeper every time. But she wasn't done. She reached for something else. Guilt. You're really going to choose her over your own mother? That line. It used to work. Every time. But not anymore. I shook my head. I'm choosing myself. The moment I thought I won. I picked up my suitcase. Slowly. Deliberately. Like I was making a statement. She didn't stop me. She just watched. And for a moment, I felt it. Victory. Not loud. Not dramatic. But quiet and powerful. I was finally doing it. Leaving. Living. Choosing. I walked toward the door. And said, I leave next month. Then I paused. Turned slightly. And I'm not changing my mind. For the first time. She didn't respond. She just stood there. Watching. And that silence? It should have warned me. But I didn't understand it yet. The first strange event. Too quiet acceptance. Over the next few days. Something felt off. No arguments. No calls. No guilt messages. Nothing. That was not normal. Usually she would keep pushing. Keep calling. Keep trying to regain control. But instead, silence. Even my sister didn't message. Even the house group chats went quiet. It felt like they were waiting, watching, planning something I couldn't see yet. But I ignored it, because for the first time in my life, I felt free. The second event, the phone call. 3 days later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. Hello? Silence. Then my mom's voice. But different. Calmer. Almost rehearsed. I just want to talk. I leaned against the wall. We already talked. She didn't react. Instead she said something unexpected. I spoke to your aunt. My stomach tightened slightly. But I didn't show it. And a pause. Long enough to feel intentional. She's not telling you everything. That line stayed in the air. Heavy. Suspicious. But I refused to react emotionally. I don't need permission to travel. And I hung up. But something about that call stayed with me longer than it should have. The third event, the package. 2 days later. A small envelope arrived at the house. No sender name. Just my name written neatly. Inside. A printed itinerary. Scotland. Same dates. Same flights. Same hotel. But with one difference. My name was no longer the primary traveler. My mom's name was added. My heart slowed. I stared at it, trying to understand. Then my phone buzzed. A message. From my aunt. We need to talk. Something isn't right. The panic starts building. I called her immediately. First ring. No answer. Second ring. Nothing. Third ring. Voicemail. That's when my calm started breaking slightly. Because my aunt never ignored calls. Never. I tried again. Same result. Then another message came. Not from her. From my mom. Don't believe everything you're being told. My hands went cold. Because now, it wasn't just about a trip anymore. Something was being rewritten behind me. Without me. The final moment, realization begins. I opened my suitcase, checked everything, ticket, documents, bookings, and then I saw it. A small detail, one I had missed. The confirmation email had been modified. The passenger list wasn't what I remembered. My breathing slowed, because suddenly, the silence made sense. The calls made sense. The calm made sense. Everything had been too controlled, too intentional, too quiet. And that's when it hit me. Cliffhanger ending, realization moment. I whispered to myself. This wasn't a fight. My phone lit up again. Unknown number. I stared at it. Not moving. Not blinking. Then I answered. And a voice said something that froze me completely. Because in that moment, I understood everything was already planned. And, the moment I answered that unknown call, I thought I was in control. But what I heard on the other side didn't just change the situation, it changed everything I believed about my family. Because the trip, the tickets, the silence, none of it was random. It was a plan. And I was never the one holding the pen. The realization, everything connects. I stood still. Phone pressed to my ear. Breathing shallow. Waiting. Then the voice spoke again. Not my mom. Not my aunt. A third voice. Calm. Male. Professional. Are you aware your travel booking was modified 2 days ago? My heart dropped slightly. But I didn't respond immediately. He continued. There are multiple overlapping reservations under your family account. And suddenly, everything in my mind started connecting. The silence, the fake calm, the strange message, the altered itinerary, the phone call. It wasn't chaos. It was structure. Controlled structure. Full reveal, the revenge plan. The voice explained everything. Not emotionally. Just factually. Cold. Precise. Your mother contacted the travel agency after your initial booking. Pause. She requested changes to include herself in the itinerary using shared family authorization. My fingers tightened around the phone. Not anger yet. Not sadness yet. Just shock. He continued. Your aunt attempted to block the modification but was overruled due to account permissions. And that's when I understood. This wasn't a fight between me and my mother. It was a system. A system I didn't understand. And I had walked into it blindly. Chaos intensifies. Calls start pouring. My phone exploded. Messages. Calls. Voicemails. My mom. My sister. Unknown numbers. All at once. One message stood out. Don't go to Scotland without speaking to me. Another. You don't understand what you've done. My breathing got heavier. Because now, it wasn't about permission. It was about consequences. And I was standing in the center of them. Emotional breakdown, first crack. I sat down slowly. Suitcase still open. Tickets scattered. Everything I thought I controlled was not mine. For the first time in this entire story, I felt something break. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, internally. I whispered, "So I was never choosing anything." My voice cracked slightly. I was being moved. The acceptance phase. The calls kept coming. But I stopped answering. Not because I was winning, but because I finally understood something deeper. Some battles aren't about fighting back. They're about realizing the board you're standing on was never yours. I looked at the Scotland ticket. My dream. My escape. My freedom. And I laughed softly. Not happily. Not sadly. Just realizing. Even my freedom was part of the system. Twist, respect for the other side. Then something unexpected happened. A final message came. From my aunt. I tried to stop it. But your mother didn't act emotionally, she acted strategically. I stared at it. Long. Hard. And for the first time, I felt something strange. Not hatred. Not revenge. Respect. Because whatever had happened, it wasn't messy. It was calculated. Cold intelligence. And that truth was more unsettling than anger. Chaos slowly disappears. After that, silence returned. Calls stopped. Messages faded. The noise that filled my life for days vanished. Not solved. Not repaired. Just gone. Like it had never fully existed. I sat there for a long time, phone in hand, not knowing what to do next. Final reflection, who I really became. I didn't go to Scotland that day. Not because I couldn't, but because I realized something bigger. I wasn't escaping a family. I was escaping a role. The reliable one. The left behind one. The invisible one. And now, that role no longer existed. I stood up slowly, closed my suitcase, and said to myself, if my life is going to be written, I'm writing it from here. Final scene, silence and closure. The house was quiet again. But this time, it didn't feel empty. It felt reset, like something old had finally stopped running. My phone stopped ringing. No more messages. No more chaos. Just silence. Real silence. And for the first time, I didn't fear it. Final message, emotional lesson. Some families don't lose you. They just keep you in a place where you never notice you've been controlled. And the moment you step out of that place, everything looks like betrayal to them. But it looks like freedom to you. Final CTA. If this story made you think about your own life, don't scroll away. Leave a comment. Have you ever felt invisible in your own family? And if you want more stories like this, comment, subscribe, because sometimes, the quietest people are the ones rewriting their entire story.